everyone, welcome to my channel Nickix. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can implement classes and objects in JavaScript and what are the different concepts of classes and objects, uh, different types of functions that you can declare in your classes in JavaScript, as well as your inheritance concepts in JavaScript, your constructors, how to create a constructor in your JavaScript in classes and objects. So let's start with the video. So moving to the coding part, first of all, I will be just creating a quick document. So here, head, title, the body section, and after the body section, we need to declare a script tag. The script tag will be, I can just save it in the and first.html. So here is my first.html saved. So now I'm going to create a class, the class name person, and in this person class I'm going to create a function named show, and in this show function I'm going to write as console.log. This is the show function in the person class. So now what I'm going to do here is outside the class, this is the block of the class. So outside the class, I'm going to create an object. For object, I have to use the let function because it's a standard of ES6, JavaScript ES6. So let person1 equals to new person. Person is your class name and person1 is your object. And with the help of person1, I will be calling up the show function. So let's check what is the output of this. So in this folder, I have just saved my file with the first.html. If I'm going to open this, so it will be open into my browser. And here if I'm going to right click here and inspect, this window is popped up onto my screen, and here is the console, because as I have written here is console.log. This is the show function in the person class. So console will always be printing in your console section of your inspect element. So here the function which is being written in the class, I have called this function with the object of a class. So this is a simple program of the object calling, or you can say which demonstrate the concept of your classes and objects. So moving to the next part, we can just find out how to create a constructor in your classes. So I'm going to just copy this, paste this, save it with a second.html. So in the where I have written, so let it be a person class, and in the person class I'm going to define a constructor. So constructor is defined with the name as constructor. So what is the property of constructor? Constructor property is that whenever I am going to create an object of that particular class in which constructor is present, it is not mandatory to call this function. For example, I have created a class. In this, I have created a constructor. So in constructor, we can say that we will be writing here as this is the constructor that will automatically called. So whenever I'm going to create an object of this person class, this constructor is automatically called. So in the first file, we have created a show function. We have created an object of that particular class, and with that particular object, I have to call my show function. But in the case of constructor, I don't need to call it. Whenever I'm going to create an object, it is automatically called. So let's see the output. If I'm going to write here as second.html, so when I'm going to run this file, here in the console my output is been presented. This is the constructor that will be automatically called. So this is the property of constructor, that whenever you are going to just make an object of that particular class in which constructor is exist, it will be automatically called. So this is the basic syntax of the constructor you want if you want to create the constructor in your class. So moving to the next part, we can say here as that I have made a constructor. So inside the constructor, this is basically the keyword that is used to refer the current class. Right now, if I am using this keyword in this class person, so it is going to refer this person class, this block of that particular class. So I can just declare a name as a variable. So this dot name equals to, we can say here as John, and I'm going to create a function named show, and in this show function I'm going to just print here as console.log. So we are going to use a backtext. So uh, where in the keyboard you are having a number one key, along with the number one key on the left hand side there is a sign, a small key that represent your tilde sign and a backtick sign. So JavaScript uses this backtick techniques in order to like you print your string and the variables in a one line without using any concatenation operator. So it is a very big advantage of your JavaScript. Like with the help of backticks, you can just use your variables and string in one line without using any concatenation operator. So I'm going to use this name is. So in order to just like differentiate your string with your variable, you have to just put your variable in the curly brackets, and along with the curly bracket, prior to the curly bracket, you have to put a dollar sign. It means that this dot name is a variable. It is not going to print as it is. It is going to print its value, which is stored in this name variable. So backtick is used like it's a simplified way. Backticks will be used to print your this string name is and this variables in one line without using any. Otherwise in the traditional JavaScript we are using the plus operator to concat a string with a variable, but with the use of backticks this can be, you can use it very easily. But if you want to print a value of a variable, you need to put that variable in the curly brackets followed by a dollar sign. So let's say it's a person class. So person one is an object. Person one is an object. So now if I'm going to create an object, this will automatically be called once I initialize my object, when I create my object of that particular class. So this dot name will be having a value of John. So if now I'm going to call this person one dot show, so it is going to display me the name of that person. So name is John because person one dot show name is this dot name. This dot name right now is John. So if I want to change the name or I want to access that particular name, I can access that particular variable with the help of object keyword. I can use here as person one dot name, and if I'm going to just refresh this, so John has been available because with the person one is an object of that particular class. With the object you can just access your the variable that is declared in your class. So in this way, you can just declare a constructor as well as function in your single class in your JavaScript, and you can access your variable outside the class also, as well as you can access your function like. So this is the demonstration of constructor and the function in your one class. So moving to the next part, we can just I'm going to just copy paste it in order to save the time. So here I can just I can delete a show function here. I can delete this thing also. So we can now make a program in which constructor with an argument. So we can just use constructor and we can pass here the argument. So whenever you are going to, you can say create an object, you need to pass your some string variable over here because that variable will be going into this name like parameter of constructor, and to this dot name I can just here write here as this dot name equals to name. So this dot name is a class variable name, the class person name, and this name is your this argument that is been passed from here. So in this like program, I am also demonstrating you the various the more important and the efficient ways of initializing your or calling your methods, that is with the help of getter and setter. So I am using a getter, that is if you are using a getter, then you have to use a keyword get, and I'm going to create a function name that is a person name. So this person name is going to return a value that is this dot name. So whatever value will be stored in this name variable, this dot name variable means, this means the person class and the person class name, and this one name is your constructor argument name that is being passed from here. So I have used a getter function in which the person name is a function and return it will be returning this dot name, and I'm using a setter function with a keyword set. So person name, and now I'm going to just like put here as this dot name equals to x. So I will pass an argument x over here. So now I'm going to just so I have made a class name person, a constructor that is having an argument that will be received from whenever I'm going to create an object, and I have used a get and set function. Get is having a person name, a function name person name, and it is going to return a this dot name, the name variable of a class, and set is going to setter is going to like create a function person name that will also like when it is called, it will be passing an argument, and that argument will be placed in your will be assigned to my name variable of this class person. So I'm going to create an object person one. So if I'm going to call this getter, so console.log, it should be a person one dot name. So let's see what is right now the name is. So this is my file name is fourth. So right now person one dot name is your John, because I'm going to initialize, because whenever the object is created, the John is being passed to the name variable, and it is being initialized with the class variable name. And when I'm going to just like console.log, when I'm going to print this person one dot name, so this name is being initialized with John, so it is going to give me the output John. So now let's call a setter function. So to call a setter function, I have to use a person one. So person one is an object. So with the help of object, I'm going to call a, you can say a function person name. So person name, I'm going to like pass a variable here as Jill. So person one is an object. With the help of this object, I have called a set property. The set property is initialized with Jill, and that Jill like text is going to pass an X variable, and right now your name value is been updated from John to Jill. Earlier it was John, now it has become Jill, and now I'm going to call this so console.log, and we can call here as person one dot name. So now if I'm going to call this, now it's been updated to Shell. So in this way you can just set and get your this properties with the help of inside your classes in your JavaScript. So moving to the next part, we have some concepts of inheritance, how to inherit a class into your another class. So I'm going to create a simple function that is like we can say I'm going to remove this getter and setter properties. So now, like I'm saying, I have created a class person and a constructor. So constructor is going to accept a single argument, and whatever argument is being accepting, that particular argument value is being updated in your class variable called name. And I'm going to like make another function over here. So up one is a constructor, so I'm going to create a show function, and in this show function I'm going to just print console, and with the help of this backtick operators, backtick you can say symbols, I'm going to just write here as hello, and curly brackets followed before it dollar sign this dot name. So this is the show function. I'm going to create another class, that is class student, that is going to extend. Extends means all the properties of person class is being inherited in this student class. This is a derived class and this is a base class. Right now, my base class is having a constructor as well as a function. That base class, that the person class, is inherited in your student class. Why and how? So it is like the class student, we have used an extend keyword that is extending a person class. So whenever this person class is being extended, all the constructor and the function show is being inherited in your student class. So let's make an object of a student. So if I'm going to call as student one, like stud1, stud1 is an object of this student class. And if I'm going to pass here as John, and because right now you have the person class being inherited in student class, so you can assume logically that all this constructor and the show function is also being present over here right now. So it is like cut it from here and is being present over here. So you can think it in your logical mind. So right now student is also having the constructor and a show function. So if I'm going to call this student with John, because student is not having any body but it is extending a person class. So person class is having a constructor. So this John is being received by this constructor, and it is going to initialize this name variable. And after that, I'm going to call this function with the help of stud1. We can call the show function. So when this show function is called, as in the upper line, my John is being initialized, my constructor is being called. So name variable of that person class is being initialized. So while calling the stud1.show function, it is going to print the console.log hello this dot name. So whatever the name is there, like the John name is there, it is going to print onto your screen. So if I'm going to call this fifth file, so right now hello John is being printed, because like John is being like we have passed John to the student class, because I am creating an object of this student class. So student class is inheriting this person class, and then in this person class the constructor has been present. So in this way you can just clear the concept of inheritance, or you can use the concepts of inheritance in your JavaScript. So this is very a basic program of inheritance. Let's make some complex program in which like you are having, I can show you a demo. So I can save it with the 6.html. So here in the earlier program, we have created a like student class that is extending the person class, but it is not having any its body part. So if I want that a body part should also be created, so I'm going to create a constructor in student class also. So it will be receiving a name, And in this name I can say here as console.log, you can say creating student, you can say calling student constructor. So I'm going to call this student constructor, and along with this I'm going to use this super keyword, and I'm going to pass this name function. So I'm going to explain you what has been happening right now. So if I'm going to output this 6.html, you are having an output calling student constructor that has been written over here, and after that you are displaying there is an output called hello John. Now, right now, Hello John has been present in your person class. I'm going to explain how it has been like coming all these things. So, student is your class that is extending the person class. So, right now, person class is having the student class is having its own constructor also, as well as it is having the constructor and function of your person class, the base class, which student class is inheriting. So right now, so here we are just creating an object of student class. We have just created an object of student class. So as we have created the object of student class, it will only be calling the constructor of your student class. So I have created an object of student class. So John will be passing in this constructor of student class. So right now name is being initialized with John. So this constructor is called, so it is going to print its first line, that is calling student constructor. So calling student constructor is being printed. So in the next line I have used a super keyword. So super keyword is used to call the base class constructor. So right now student class is extending the person class, that is a base class. So right now, so super keyword is calling the base class constructor, and as this base class constructor is also having an argument, so I need to pass an argument in this super keyword. So this super keyword, when which I have written over here, it is going to call this constructor of your base class, and along with this super keyword, the name is right now John. Name is having a value of John because it is being received by the it is being received in this object when I have created an object. So John is being transferring to this name variable, and name variable is being transferred in the argument of super keyword, and it is calling the constructor of your base class. So here John is being received. So right now the in the person class name variable is being initialized with John. So if I'm going to call stud1.show, so stud1.show, stud1 is the object of student. So right now there is no function is name show in this student class. So it is going to check in this person class because it is extending that person class. So right now we are having a show function in this person class, and in this person class it is going to print hello this dot name. Right now this is referring to the person class, and name is initialized with zero with John by this derived class super keyword. So that's why here hello John is being displayed. So this was all about your class and objects and the few concepts of your the how to make a class and how to like declare a constructor, how to use your like constructor as well as your function in a single class and use of this backtick operators. Then we have gone through with the get and set properties of your JavaScript, and then we have just demonstrate a simple inheritance in which the derived class is not the student class, that is also called the derived class, is not having any like function or constructor. And in the last two, we have created two classes that is also that is having their respectively constructors, and with the help of super keyword, I'm going to call this base class constructor in your derived class constructor. So this was all about your JavaScript, like the simple tutorial of a JavaScript, the classes and objects tutorials of a JavaScript. I hope you like my videos. If you like my videos, do subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like and share my video. Thanks for watching my channel.